Speaking of attorneys, Dan Negroni is also an attorney. He is a public speaker. He is a keynote speaker. He is a CEO of a company called Launchbox 365. He's a best-selling author.
And he's got a great cocktail with gin. That's what I'm reading here.
Hey, so you saw this. So you don't spend your life writing contracts now. But how much of a time suck is right as an attorney? You spend all of your life trying to keep other guys out of trouble. You don't practice law like that anymore. You've been a corporate attorney though for many years before you
30,
got into this.
I think 30, something like that.
Ew.
It's fascinating for guys like us to watch you and guys like Ron.
Yeah, I just think it's like you said to him, how do you approach a contract?
Yeah.
I mean, if you're writing it or drafting it. And
is it really two different angles?
It's in your favor. Of course it's two different angles. I mean, everyone is focused on what? Themselves.
Yeah, right.
And so you got to look at the contract. But how do you look at a contract? You read it, and then you see kind of what the holes are.
It's easy for you to say. Russ, have you ever read anything cover to cover?
No, I just click agree and let's start downloading the video.
Hey, can you hand me that book here? This book here that Russ should be holding is called Chasing. By the way,
It's time for book launch?
No. Well, we have. I say this every time he's on the air with us. Okay, but the long story short is we've had hundreds, maybe dare I say thousands of books sent to us over the last 22 years in radio. This is physically. You'll understand in a second. The heaviest book I've ever had. Ready?
I got it. Oh, Jesus, Bob. Help me here. I got it.
Is that like physically? Did you realize when you picked up that book? Did you realize it's a pretty damn heavy book?
Yes.
It's a heavy book.
You know when I realized
it's a great
it?
book, but it's a heavy book.
I realized it when we have to pay to mail it. Because it's dang expensive.
Okay, so yeah, I think we should have a book weighing here at some point. Chasing Relevance, fantastic book. There is a disconnect with millennial employees and customers. There's a disconnect with millennials getting hired by corporations. Dan saw this, I'm going to say 5 years ago. When you first came up with this, was it longer than that when you started?
Yeah, it's about 5 years.
5 years. He said, you know what? There's going to be a problem when the entire workforce, when we are gray, is going to be millennials. Maybe I should jump on. Give us some numbers about millennials that we may not realize.
Sure, 83 million strong, the largest generation. Right behind them, Gen Z, another big one. Digital natives born with technology. 2.4 billion of the world's population. 60% of the world's population is under the age of 30. And they spend $660 billion on.
So we should
pay attention to that, is what you're saying.
Nice tattoo.
And they're 40% of the workforce today, and they will be 75% of the workforce in the next 9 years. 75%.
So I think I know what you're going to say here. What is the biggest misnomer most of us gray people have about millennials?
They all have tattoos.
They don't all have tattoos, only 42%. I would say that
Isn't that great? He knows the number.
Ask me a question.
How about
Come on,
body piercing? How many have more than 9 holes?
Well, what's the biggest misnomer?
The biggest misnomer is that they're lazy and they're entitled and they're not willing to work hard.
And they live in the Bay, or they live with their
I mean, many of them where homes are expensive, and a lot of them live at home. But the truth is, most of them are amazing. We've trained 10,000 of them, and they deliver.
Yeah.
And they need help understanding who they are and having breakthroughs to create value for other people. They're young. They don't get it's not about them. They've lived in a world where college, high school, first job, it's all about you. Parties going,
right.
It's all about you.
Facebook.
And then all of a sudden it's like, oh my God, it's not all about me. The secret to life is about everyone else.
Wow.
So my question, I would argue that the bigger divide is how corporations now have completely ignored this. And they have they're looking to hire guys like you and I and Russ. Well, maybe not Russ. Guys like you and I.
In that suit, maybe Russ.
But the point is that really what they should be concentrating on is the skill sets and the life experiences of those people that are going to be running these companies in the next 10, 15 years.
Only 22% of corporations have even thought about how to train and retain and hire the right type of millennials and ask the right questions. Right. And even out of them, they kind of stink at it.
So is this a butt-kissing how-to for the corporate oldies, or is it a watch your stepson for these little 42% tattooed
well
generation?
Done, well put.
You know what I'm saying?
Those are the only two options there, by the way.
Well,
is it this or is it that?
Yeah.
Hey, here's the thing.
Look at the book cover.
You kind of know me.
Yeah.
And it is not, but I am not a butt kisser.
That's for sure.
I am a tell it like it is type guy.
Here's Dan's brand.
Yeah.
Does this dress make me look fat? No, your face does.
Right.
That's Dan Negroni's brand.
But
also my brand. But
for a corporate CEO to say, "Kid, what's with the hoodie and the dungarees?"
But they're not all in hoodies and dungarees.
Look, Here's our brand, really, in all seriousness. Being bold, being generous, and making sure that we can empower people to create impact so they can change something for themselves. And that's what the book does.
For both of them.
It's a kick in the butt to both sides to say, hey, stop whining and complaining about this problem. Learn how to get along. Learn how to speak like a human. Serve each other. Create great results. Create innovation. And go crush it in your businesses and your life.
And you're getting people that read it and say, you know what? That helped. Dude,
well,
I'm talking to my. I got a tattoo like this 8-year-old CEO. All of a sudden, look at he's got the
8-year-old CEO. Well, speaking of 8-year-old CEOs, as you watch Mark Zuckerberg of Facebook testify in front of Congress, okay, you're watching a kid, and I say kid with respect because he basically changed the world. But here's a kid who is in college, okay, who just wanted to bring together college people. He is he the template? Or is he maybe someone that they shouldn't be concentrating on because look at what does Gary Vee say? Less than 2% are going to actually end up there.
I mean, look, Mark Zuckerberg. I mean, amazing, right? I thought he was a little. I wanted him to be more likable. He tried.
He was on defense. I think
he was nervous and he was calculated and he really wasn't himself.
Right,
I think
exactly.
But you know what bothers me in this country is this guy's changed the world.
Yes.
Look at what we're
for
doing.
free.
For free.
For free.
Look
it doesn't cost to be on Facebook.
Right. Yeah. Look at what we're doing to Jeff Bezos and Mark Zuckerberg. We're founded. This country's founded. This show is founded on entrepreneurialism, learning how to make money, all those things, and then we beat the heck out of them when they get in front of Congress and start the regulation nonsense and all this nonsense. How about being grateful for what he's done to change the world?
Is that the next book? Because we need a book on that.
On being grateful.
That's right.
Is the let's talk about in the book. You talk about don't chase relevance as a next gen leader. You talk about creating it. What does that mean?
Yeah. So I love George Bernard Shaw's quote, which is, "Life is not about finding yourself; it's about creating yourself." And that's what we do, and that's what millennials need help with. They need guides. They need people like you guys. They need everyone, even their same age, to help them figure out how to be relevant.
I'm just curious, Russ. If you were to be a guide, what would you guide millennials to do? Because listen, I was a millennial when I started listening to you on the radio.
Yeah.
You were guiding me into a life of debauchery and douchebaggery, which I took. Well, now you own 2 millennials. You own almost 3 millennials.
Right,
now.
they're in there. So I say just let it fly, man. Take care of yourself and
ignore everybody else and be selfish.
Move along.
Fantastic.
Come on.
I think you missed the thing.
Perfect.
Way to go.
I got it. That's my next book.
There we go.
And by the way, on the book, I noticed there's who did this? Next Generation put a line through millennials. So
I'm going to say it's Dan.
It's a wider. It's a wider.
Well, here's the thing:
swath.
is the book is written to both sides to become next generation leaders. Which is new and smart and calculated and caring, right? And guiding. And not just leaving them. And
I love the cover, though.
It's for everyone.
It's one arm has a tattoo, and the other one's like a business suit guy. But maybe under the business suit, there's a guy with a tattoo.
You're like Joe Pesci from Goodfellas?
Yeah.
Look, one dog face it this way, one dog face it this way. What else? So look at the painting. It's a
What
beautiful
else have I
painting.
got? I got people to train.
I want to talk about Launchbox 365 and their career workshops and the transformation that Dan's making with not only corporations but
I like that.
but also the millennials that camp out there. And it's really interesting because if you go by his office, there's a different group of people there every single time. He's got a basic staff there. Dan Negroni, Launchbox 365, the author of the book Chasing Relevance in Studio. Let's we come back. We'll visit the numbers. We'll talk some more to Dan. Don't chase relevance as a next-gen leader. Create it is what his moniker says. Russ is going to show you his not tattoo but backwaxing under that jacket. It's going to be the cover of his next book.
Stay tuned.
Coming up on the Big Biz Show. BigBizShow.com. Stand by.